So my name is Andre Stefano Stevens. And the shortening for that would be ASA. And ASA in African language is Asa or Ashe. It means yes, in agreement. So I come.
Your face again for me, please. I'm not seeing you. Yeah, thank you.
I come from an order called Ashe. And if you're from the Yoruba tribe, you know what Ashe means. I'm giving some people tonight research to go do what Ashe means. I'm 30 years old. I'm a mental health survivor. I'm a restaurateur and celebrity chef. I am a radio host. I have had my learned Queen's Counsel on my radio program of late last year, speaking about the tensions and state of public emergencies that she spoke so passionately and eruditely about. I am a farmer. I'm an interior decorator. I'm a designer stylist. Right? I am a philanthropist. Today I did over 250 meals for the homeless people. That's what I do every Sunday. And there are 52 Sundays of every year. So I've gone 2 Sundays. So I have 50 more Sundays to go out of this year to see to it that I've freed homeless people right across Jamaica. Coupled with that, I'm a political dog. I was the one who assisted the JLP in crafting from poverty to prosperity. I was the one who assisted the present Prime Minister in his wardrobe redefinition, his speaking to the common man, him reasoning and being able to reason. Remember when him drop him foot and go across the river? Those are the kind of things. I was the ordinary person who did those things. And that is why I could take 1.5 weeks and become the most sensational topic in the world. Me want my partner draw. And right now, the Prime Minister has been placed between a rock and a hard place because every Jamaican wants their partner draw. Queen's Counsel Valerie Nita, don't you want your partner draw? Stafford Perkins, wouldn't you want your partner draw as a member of the diaspora? Tell Jamaica. Sure. Don't you want your partner draw? And I represent the voice for the voiceless. I represent the voice for those who are in need. I represent the voice for the prostitute, the man from LGBT, the woman who is gay, the woman who is lesbian, the woman uptown that is being abused by her husband, the woman who is suffering from mental health disorder, who has that child. I represent the woman whose child was slit with the Down syndrome. I represent those dons who wants freedom. I represent those people who want freedom from community and bondages that they have been. Who killed Roy Fowle? Who killed Wani British? I represent those people who want answers to who killed those family members. Queen's Counsel, if you should carry a case against the government about the amount of people who have been killed or are alleged to have been killed by them, you would have been a billionaire by now, because you would have been just as how the plaintiff, what's her name? How to Get Away with Murder. She was able to put a case against the government. If you put this case against the government based on the amount of allegations of who they have killed, come on, man, Queen's Counsel. It is ravishing. When we look at our society now, over 70 people have been murdered in less. Over 70 people have been murdered in less than a month. It speaks to a serious situation. Why is Horace Chang still the Minister of National Security? Why is Major Anthony General still the Chief, the Commissioner of Police? The people are tired. The people are fed up. What is the legacy of Andrew Holness? What is the legacy of Horace Chang? Let me tell you the legacy of Andrew Holness. Crime, COVID and corruption. Crime, COVID and corruption. When you think about the legacy of Horace Chang, crime and corruption, cronyism and nepotism. That is the legacy that we have inherited, and we need to have it stopped. Queen's Counsel and Stafford Henry, will you stand with me to stop what is happening in this country? Will you deny me like how many have denied me? Do you say that I am foolish? Do you say that I am mad? Do you say because I'm a homosexual you won't stand with me? Stafford Henry, Valerie Nita, tell me now. Tell me now. Tell me now if you will stand with me so we can have this conversation in full.
Okay, so Andre, the reason why I have you here and is because I was attracted to you. You don't necessarily want to hear the metaphysical part of it, but I'm attracted to you in terms of your mind, what you're saying, and how you're expressing yourself. And so this is why you're on the program, and I'm on this program with you this evening, because I'm already standing with you. And I'm pretty sure the Queen's Council will.
Yeah, well, my view of Andre.
Madam, may I ask you to introduce yourself and then address this?
Oh, well, I'm just plain old Valerie.
Oh, give me the way you start the way. You speak part of Jamaica before Kingston, however. All right?
Oh, yeah. You know, I actually was born in Spanish Town.
That's what I want to hear.
Capital Estate in St. Elizabeth. I'm a country girl. But I share the passion of Andre. I kind of know where he's coming from because I think a lot of Jamaicans and myself are at that stage where we see our beautiful country not progressing, not being able to fulfill the needs and aspirations and dreams of the ordinary Jamaican people. And we, of course, share the view that politics is a part of the problem, and we would like to see it rectified. So I understand where Andre is coming from. I support his passion, and I support his movement. What I would love to see is for Andrew to use that passion to move this desire to let the Jamaican people know the truth about matters and to urge them to vote wisely and not foolishly. I would like to see Andre transform it into a movement, not a political party, but a movement where he can speak on either PNP or JLP because he's not connected to either of the two. So Andre, I understand your passion and I identify with it, certainly.
You know, thank you so much, Learned Counsel. You know, when I asked tonight what is the legacy of the Prime Minister, Andrew Michael Holness, Auntie Valerie, when I look in our communities that are plagued with crime and violence, when I look at the mother who has the child that his throat was slashed, when I look at 10-year-old Jazira, when I look at the amount of children who have been killed under the watch of Andrew Michael Holness, it begs me to question, is this his true legacy? When I look at the teachers not being paid, when I look at the teachers not being paid, when I look at the public servants being disrespected and disregarded, that's the legacy of Andrew Holness. When I look at the corruption in government, the man says that his assets is $192 million, Valerie. The house alone value near $400-500 million. How then can your asset be $192 million? Are we foolish?
Well, one of the problems, Andre, one of the problems we have in Jamaica is that there's no transparency. There's no transparency and there's no accountability on all scales of this country. And frankly, I mean, my generation has failed to establish, to ensure that we have accountability and transparency. And I am hoping that Andre's generation
can fix that. When I just finish, let me finish about the legacy. So when I look at the corruption in government, him have Bobby Montague, him have Floyd Green with the thing and him legitimize him and put him back there. So, but you know, When I look at Jamaica House, Bobby Montague turned the kitchen lady. Bobby Montague serving him water, him juice, him tin mackerel, him salmon, and him caviar. Bobby Montague, I watch the dishes for him. That is why my Bobby Montague up there. Floyd Green up there, because Floyd Green turn one of the send-up boy them. Matthew Samuda turn one of the send-up boy them. Nestor Morgan has always been a send-up.
Jamaican people are listening to the message. One of the most important messages you are giving is that corruption in the political sphere affects every Jamaican, every single Jamaican.
True.
And so, where in the past, Jamaicans were saying they don't business with corruption, it's not affecting them. But it is affecting you, and whenever you speak, you tell us how it affects the ordinary livelihood of the Jamaican people, the livelihood of the police, the teachers, all of those who are trying to give yeoman service to this country so that we can grow and move forward.
Let me ask Andre this question. You've known the Emperor Nero for a long time, and I don't want to call names so anybody can.
You mean Pharaoh? Pharaoh?
Pharaoh, better yet Pharaoh. And you have known him, and might have even found yourself in a position like Josephine Potiphar's house.
Yes, and I've been preaching about that message of Joseph, how Potiphar's wife locked with Joseph. No, that is the story we're going to talk tonight. The wicked Potiphar's wife. Potiphar's wife is a wicked woman.
When did you meet them? What age were you when you met them?
I was just leaving high school at age 16. The 25th of June 2008. My then principal, Joan Tyser Mills, introduced me to Pharaoh. And she told Pharaoh, please to see to it that you protect my son. Pharaoh gave that commitment, and on the 26th of June, that was the Friday morning, I was at the Ministry of Education on the 3rd floor, being one of the assistants to Pharaoh's political assistant, Miller, Big Rob.
And then what, you brought it into the party? How did it end up?
I end up in the party till the point I ran even for councillor in 2012 for the Jamaica Labour Party in Waterford. Waterford is a PMP stronghold, and I was the only Labourite who come close to the me carry Pharaoh in a Waterford. Me carry Pharaoh in a Waterford. Me show PMP say me not afraid of them, Valerie. And when I carried, they have to carry Portia, they have to carry Peter Phillips, they have to carry so much, because they say, that little one boy are too strong.
So how did it end up? Did you win?
Me couldn't win in a Waterford. Then sister get a PMP Tivoli Gardens that.
Oh yes. Yeah. And so now you moved up the food chain in the party to the point.
Moved up to the that would call me send out boy for Pharaoh. Pharaoh couldn't eat him food if me not taste it. Them used to call me social secretary. Means say Pharaoh and Potiphar's wife could not eat unless me taste the food. That was how I was in the command.
Now let me ask you this. When you say that, I want to get this straight. Is that a literal thing? Because I get the impression that Pharaoh sees himself as an emperor, as some kind of hero.
Pharaoh sees himself as untouchable. Right now we know. Enough Jamaicans must know the reason why Pharaoh can't sleep, and because of the picking them. Pharaoh don't want me to tell Jamaica who are the matey.
And so you were the trusted what is it, valet? Is that it?
Yes, I was a trusted valet. who would have carried the messages and all of those things for Pharaoh.
So and then he won the first. He won that first.
As them win the election, Potiphar wife come and say you can't be beside a Pharaoh because them are gonna say you're gay, and by extension them are gonna say the husband, the Pharaoh gay, so you can't around him. So me ask and say, oh, if you say that you have so much alleged homosexuals in the Labour Party, what to the man at Portmore, where the Rasta man?
And so the friction started from there then, that you're too close to him.
Yeah, so she say, because we never tell her, say, Pharaoh and ex did not sleep, me by extension, guilty too. And if you don't believe me, me can give me have the voice note when me give to Learned Counsel Valerie. She have it and she hear it. So if them believes a lie, me I tell, she'll be ready to play it in the court.
Andre, you've been saying some pretty damning things about the emperor and his lady and his queen. Aren't you afraid in any way that you could be hurt?
He that is with fear is twice defeated in the race of life. If it is, there was no truth to it, they would have come and lock me down against and sue me, right, Valerie?
Definitely.
Why can't they come for me? Because I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just talking just mere allegations. It is for them to denounce it and to say nothing don't go so. And then the court of public opinion will decide when I play the voice notes.
And then, so, because you know of the inner workings of the thing, did you ever hear them discuss who gets what? Were you that close to them to hear how when things are being shared up?
When things are being shared up, there are only two people who discusses it. Pharaoh and Cleopatra. And then the chief of staff is told after a meeting with both of them how this thing is going to work. Okay? Nobody else knows about it until Pharaoh and Cleopatra sit down and discuss it.
But how do you learn about it? You just from observation, or how do you learn about some of the things you have stated in the past?
Just say, Stafford, is not everything is good to eat, is good to talk.
Okay.
What I know is what I know, and I will share it in confidence with my Queen's Counsel, who will one day have to represent me against the government of Jamaica.
Okay. All right, so you, after when was it, when did the breakdown, the real breakdown as it is today, when did that start?
In 2018, I had a spiritual attack. Many people say it's a mad attack, but no, I can confirm it was a spiritual attack. I was naked in Halfway Tree. Valerie would know about the case because my prophet possibly would have spoken to her about all that I went through. Prophet Lexi has told Valerie of all that. Am I telling any lie, Auntie Valerie?
No, not at all.
Prophet Lexi knows all that I have been through. And Prophet Lexi carries all of my visions with me.
Did you ever give thought to that it could have been something physical? Somebody might have given you something to eat.
No, it is witchcraft. And I'm going to tell you what the witchcraft. It come from Upper East Rural St. Andrew. Upper East Rural St. Andrew, the witchcraft come from. Because when I was in the hospital, the same Cleopatra sent her slippers for me, Valerie. As I put on the slippers, my foot was swollen and my foot became twisted. I asked my doctor, Dr. Sandra Nesbitt, about it.
So you think that you're thinking that Cleopatra was now ready to get her revenge for you being...
Because I did not tell Cleopatra who the matey is. And Cleopatra wanted to know who the matey is.
But you saw the emperor and the matey together, or is just rumors?
The emperor and the matey has been around together from 2012, from 2013, 2012. Their relationship has always been standing.
that be the same the person who had something to do with Petrodrama or one else?
Nope. The matey sits in the parliament. That's the most I can say.
Okay. See, I think I know. I think I might have an idea who it is. Which one day we'll probably exchange private notes on that.
I don't need to exchange private notes because Valerie is smiling because she has all of the literature on it. All of the literature on it. Every single piece of document. And do you think that is strategically, you know what you're doing, Stafford, when you had Valerie on this program? You're giving me full coverage that I can speak because she is ready to defend me, and provided Wholeness thinks it's Valerie Nita alone, we have the International Association of Attorneys who are ready to back her up. Human rights attorneys, Black Caucus attorneys, attorneys who are members of the socialist movement internationally. So Valerie Nita is just one of many. One of many. She will be the lead principal against the government of Jamaica. And I can tell you, as if should I form government tomorrow, Valerie Nita will be my attorney general. There's no question about that. That is her partner draw. That will be her partner draw. That will be Valerie Nita's partner draw.
Andre, I have retired from politics, my dear.
All you are going, me I go back out for Dr. Peter Phillips, because if me should have turned government, Dr. Peter Phillips have to be president of the Republic of Jamaica. Now ask Christ, me I tell you, Dr. Peter David Phillips have to be the president of the Republic. Auntie Valerie, the man walk circumspect, the man walk with integrity, honesty. Come on, man. If we didn't have Peter Phillips as the Prime Minister, crime wouldn't be out of control. The public sector wouldn't be in the state where it's in. Peter Phillips would have got reason with the people them. He wouldn't use bullyism. He's no longer bro God, you know. He's bully God. He's now the bully God. Bully God, bully God, bully God, bully God.
One truth is that Dr. Peter Phillips has kept himself out of
mix up a rare.
And in fact, I think Jamaica has missed an opportunity to have corruption weeded out of our politics.
Yeah. So
Stafford, I can say, if Bobby Montague and all of those boys are kitchen boys up Jamaica House, it's now time for Horace Chang to resign, as to see Bishop Bailey calling for his resignation. He's not talking any lie there, sir. Bishop Bailey asked for the resignation of Horace Chang. But I will go even further. The resignation of Anthony Anderson should be on the call. These two men are the greatest setbacks. They are inept. They are inept. They're inept. They don't have the balls, the political guts and the balls or the dick to fight crime. They don't have the rod of correction. They're sleeping, they're waggling. They can't have an erection for crime. They have erectile dysfunctions for crime.
Well, I think one of the things, and I think all Jamaicans, those listening and those not listening, would agree that we need a coalition. A
coalition government is what we call for.
Of coming up with a plan for crime that can work. And one of the things, Stafford, that must be done is to social programs that can get those young people who see no alternative to earning a living and liberty, but to be involved in crime, to get them to be productive human beings. And these are things, we had started this 20 years ago. We would be 20 years ahead. But we just keep talking, and it gets worse. It's also, and the SOE, yeah, it works to a certain extent in that in the area in which they are stationed.
Yes.
Yes, it does result in crime being reduced, but it's just that those who are carrying out the criminal activities just move to another area. And so it's not effective. And it's getting worse. I heard it said just this week that now contract killing
is a new norm.
Yes. So a lot of
and what I am saying is, if they were having good erections to fight crime, policemen and women would have been paid properly. And Nigel Clark, you're the next one because you want to turn head of IMF after this. Why is it that you're not doing enough to pay the police them 13 years of overtime? Nigel Clark, why is it you cannot expect we want to have crime fighters and they're not compensated effectively, properly, and adequately? For them to fight crime, they must feel as though there is a sense of worth and belongingness. Am I telling any truth or am I telling any lie?
No, that is absolutely true. I mean, we're looking even Stafford at this state of education now. And you look at the schools where the teachers are performing, they're adding value to the standard. They measure that by the standard at which they expect the kids to perform, who come to that school in first form right through to sixth form. And it is amazing that the schools who are adding value, and you can't ask the teachers, it's very demotivating to be doing the extra. Yes, we are loyal Jamaicans, we are committed, we are patriotic, but it's hard for them to be performing when they are not being remunerated adequately.
So I'm going to say to you, the Minister of National Security is having erectile dysfunctions for crime. Remember, based on his age, probably he have to take the blue pill. And taking the blue pill, him just can't have a erection for that one moment. But the criminal network needs a strong, firm wood, a rod of correction, a strong, firm. Let me show you how strong it must be. See it here, Stafford. One strong, firm wood. See it there? Strong, firm wood. See it there? And so if it's strong and firm, Chinese man from Montego Bay, he all and puny, time finger and yard. Time finger and yard. Watch there. This.
I want to know what has caused you to be so angry about this government.
You know what caused me to be this angry, Auntie Valerie? Yes. For years I've been watching them, and it has not been about me. You know what made me get upset? You see when them start thief from the little picnic them? The Ministry of Education with Grace McLean and Royal Reader, how the whole of them are got to go and cover up them friends' wrongdoings. And them the time I start talking, them did I do everything else, I allow them alone, But when my sister them start take on the picnic them, where we not have access to proper internet, access to tablets, the picnic them that we can't spell them ABC right, them can't spell them name right, and we are robbed from them. We are robbed from them, Auntie Valerie. That is when I say it is getting out of hand. Then when my sister the man said him go shove the cabinet, and the cabinet to him shove to come in worse than where they did there before. Me think say me gonna put Chang a housing or something like that. And find one strong young man like Al Pernell Charles Jr. for go out crime. Right? Put Al Pernell Charles Jr. and Xavier Main as the Minister of National Security. Because them young and youthful. Where you take up them the flimsy man when them in a parliament, all them do asleep. All them do asleep.
Why do you think, you're close to them, why do you think he has ignored the younger people? Because he started out very young. When he was Minister of...
Alright, internal party politics that, Auntie Valerie. Chang all I'm secret them. If Chang get any demotivation and them think about Chinese people, you know. If you ever do anything for demotivate them or demote them will go to the very end and let go every secret by you. And Chang up all of the secret them. Auntie Valerie, have we ever questioned his who killed Roy Fowl?
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Have we ever questioned who killed Ronnie British? Prime Minister Holness, can you tell Jamaica if you know anything about the killings of these men? Did your flying squad, is there any truth that your flying squad was a part of the movement that could take rid of these gentlemen? These are questions that we must ask and answer, you know, Auntie Valerie.
Well, listen, one of the problems we have in Jamaica, and as somebody who works in the criminal court, one of the problems we have in Jamaica is that people do not come forward with
information
that can help us to pin the tail on the donkey. You know, I mean, in the United States, people willingly come forward with information, doesn't matter who the person is. I mean, whether it's Trump, Biden's son. We have had a whole 2 years of the putting forward of information on matters that are important to the development of the country. But we don't get it in Jamaica. Sometimes, actually, Stafford, honestly, sometimes I feel sorry for the police. You know why? When they go in to investigate a matter, sometimes they are really led astray by persons who want to implicate others and who want to divert the police from the real culprits. So, I mean, this is a very difficult question, Andre, for me to answer because I really don't know. I don't have the material and I don't have the information.
But you see, the thing is, can I say Auntie Valerie touched on a major point. Witness won't come forward. You know why, Auntie Valerie? In the Jamaica witness protection system, I know a witness that is a part of a major case who her child got molested by a pastor. And them have the woman all about for 2 years can't have this matter settled. And a politician is a part of the matter. And the woman fears for her life, Stafford and Auntie Valerie. And many Jamaicans fear for their life. You see me? I am vulnerable to any kind of death right now. Any kind of accidents, any kind of natural death. You can't hear doctor say for come in when me go me get injection. You see say me can never come back me turn vegetable. And that's why me I say to you, Auntie Valerie, I am not fighting the Prime Minister to expose him. I'm exposing a system that is encrypted with corruption, nepotism and cronyism. If we can fix that, we can fix a new Jamaica. Auntie Valerie, you know, I want Jamaica to understand that the war with the Chinese, the US, Russia and everybody for Jamaica is because Andrew Holness, it is alleged, have promised the Chinese the cockpit country. And that is why Derek McCoy and Marlene Malahou has been placed for constitutional reform and the Attorney General Chambers so they can interpret the law so that the Maroons will no longer have sovereignty to that land. So that the Chinese will have those lands and it is going to cause serious bloodshed on the land, Auntie Valerie.
What are you picking up from the youth, you know, in your age group as to how all of this should be dealt with? Your age is closer to the youths in the country. What are you picking up from them? How are they feeling about all of you? When you talk, are you getting feedback from them? Are they saying something to you? And what are they saying?
Yeah.
Andre?
Somebody just said to me on my live that I am marked for death. But I send that back to the sender. Because you see what is marked for good nobody can turn it to evil. So you, gentleman, that you said I am marked for death, I love you with the love of the Lord. I love you with the love of the Lord. And that is why I know I use a paradoxical prayer every day. Even when they persecute me, love them anyway. I love you with the love of the Lord. But what I sense from the youth is political apathy and antagonism. They don't want to hear nothing about Bro God. They don't want to hear nothing about the PNP. They want to hear about a new Jamaica. And they're fed up. Them said, damn politics. They don't want to hear nothing about the political system. The young people don't want to even hear P nor J come to them. Right now, Mark Golding is in a serious predicament, even more than Andrew, you know. Because Mark Golding is not likable, he's not believable, him not look winnable, him not attractable, him not know nothing name politics where people can buy into him. Stafford, I'm in a better position to be the leader of the opposition than Mark Golding. Ask Valerie Nita.
What do you think happened in that situation? Let's look at them a little bit because they've been. What do you think happened, right?
I told Mark Golding and I told Angela Brownberg and Dayton Campbell, come and sit with me, let me craft a plan for victory for the local government elections for them. Pay me my money and I will go that way. From the time Angela Brownberg asked me to do that, all Angela Brownberg was focused on was to becoming chairman of the party. As I made Angela Brownberg the chairman of the party 2 days after, she looked at me and said, Andre, I'm uncomfortable working with you now because you know the comrades, Andre. I said, all right, Mrs. Brownberg, I could call one of my political father them. All my political father could have tell me, right or wrong, Auntie Valerie, I must have my Savior with me, for I dare not stand alone.
One of the things is that I would like to see you move away from the personal,
Yes,
to helping the working class youth of this country to understand why it is important to vote wisely.
The power of the vote.
Yeah, and because, let me tell you, when you critique the Jamaica Labour Party and then you jump on the bandwagon of the PNP, it might look as if you're an opportunist. Because I'm sure the PNP has many problems also. What I would like to see you do is to form a movement to teach the young people of this country how to think, how to approach the politics, how to be able to demand what you are entitled to as a citizen, how to lobby politicians to get improvements to your communities instead of merely allowing your vote to be bought every election.
True.
I would love to see you do that. And I believe that a lot of people listening, you see, some of them listening just want to hear the gossip. And I don't want you to be involved in gossiping. I want you
to be solutions oriented.
Yes. Helping the Jamaican youth, because you're a youth. So you can reach out to them. You have a lot of influence. Your approach is very honest. You admit certain things and you say what you want.
So I'm going to say this now, Auntie Valerie and Uncle Stafford. I want to see Horace Chang do the honorable thing and resign. And likewise, Major Anthony General resign. I want to see that the Prime Minister makes some special arrangement for the police, the teachers, the doctors, the nurses, the soldiers to get their compensation in an adequate time frame. I want to see that the ministers of Jamaica House who are kitchen girls and boys become actual ministers who work in the interest of Jamaica and not in the interest of themselves. I want to see a Jamaica where crime and contract killing, even in the JCF, 400,000 the man say get to kill the 3 women them. It's a serious matter, crime in this country. Right now, the amount of young men that are hungry, that if the Prime Minister say go and shoot Andre in the head and give them a 500,000, they will come and do it. They will come and do it. They'll come and do it.
You need to form a pressure group that can pressure for these things. In fact, Stafford, I was of the view that the diaspora should be a pressure group. I don't care which government it is, PNP or JLP. We want a better Jamaica.
You know, let me say this.
And you guys have lived in first world countries, so you know the importance of law and order, and the importance of wiping out corruption. And so we need you. It's time for all Jamaicans. I mean, what Andre is doing is a wake-up call. I know a lot of people are critical of him, but really his passion is to see Jamaica a better place. And so he doesn't like the hypocrisy, and he's speaking out against it.
Yeah.
So on that point, you know, Auntie Valerie and Uncle Stafford, I want to ask this question. Every Prime Minister has been critiqued on that whilst they were leader. PJ, Michael Manley, Edward Siaga, PJ, Portia, Bruce Golding, Bro God, Portia, Dr. Phillips. Everybody get pressure for feed them something. So why Andrew Holness believes say he is above public scrutiny?
I don't know. It's a very good question. And a question that needs an answer.
Him need to understand say he's not above public scrutiny.
Well, what they say, Stafford, uneasy lies the head.
And that wears the crown.
When you go out there, you must be squeaky clean.
Yeah.
You must carry out your mandate, and you must work towards making your leadership carry your country forward.
And I'm going to say this to you. We are in a very grimy. Auntie Valerie, how much are we on the corruption index right now?
We're the top of the worst. Maybe just 2 countries worse than us.
Every day is another issue. Every single day. And it's taxpayers' money, and money that can be used to do things that can carry us forward.
Yes. Let me just say this quickly. Somebody who was close to the emperor, to William Pharaoh, he got a glimpse at his cell phone one day, and the screen, the screen thing, was showing something to do with the emperor, Roman emperor. It might have even the same Pharaoh. And one of the things with a man like, say, Donald Trump, he's what we call a narcissist. And I'm thinking, because he thinks he's much greater than, and he wants to become the emperor of the world. This person, this Pharaoh in Jamaica, is trying to be this kind of emperor, and this is where we're having a problem, because he's not answering to the people of Jamaica. He's not answering to the youths of Jamaica. So he just goes along and he does what he wants to do without giving any account of what he's doing and why he's doing what he's doing. Because the issue that came up about the age group of these men who are serving in the cabinet, that they're tired, they're old. And I'm saying, when he started out as a youth in the Ministry of Education. I remember he used to have a lot of problems with the teachers. And then suddenly they just elevated him to Prime Minister. I even heard that from good, reliable source that he was handpicked from he was on the university campus to be the head of Jamaica. So something is behind this guy that we don't even know about why he's so arrogant and has this narcissistic approach to leadership. But while Andrew gets himself together, as he calls the Valerie,
Can I simply say to you, I burn my frankincense so as to create some order in my space.
Good stuff. So and from you were there. You went through the political mails. Where do you think we went wrong? Honestly, what do you think was the biggest mistake we made from 1962 until now? Because up to a point it wasn't bad. Even saying the 60s to 70s, 70s, even the 70s. Then
where we went wrong?
It is my view, and I think I will be supported by many, that Michael Manley was the man who carried out many programs and policies to benefit the working class. And he genuinely did it. What happened was that, and nothing has been written about it, and I had asked several of our past leaders, Dudley Thompson being one, to write about it. What happened is that there was a fear among the elite, I call them the elite, that communism was coming to Jamaica. And because of Michael's attachment to Cuba. And a lot of people have never been to Cuba. It is a country to be admired. I don't support communism, but it's a country to be admired. And there's a lot of good about Cuba. And I believe that is where the country went awry with forces, the JLP, acting against the PNP, the involvement of guns on both sides, because if I'm being attacked, I'm going to defend myself. And from there, the politicians, some in defensive mode, some in attack mode, nothing was done about it. But now, we're at a stage where it has become worse in that a lot of people are not going into politics to make a contribution to their country. A lot of persons. And it gives a bad name to politicians when people do this. And we know who they are. We speak about it every day. Our laws in Jamaica, defamation laws in Jamaica, are different from yours in the United States. So people are not involved in open dialogue about it. But we know, and it gives a bad name and a stain to those who really come to make a difference. A man like Dr. Peter Phillips.
That was, to me, just about the craziest thing I've ever seen. But let's ask Andre now. He's the future. He's part of the future. As long as they give him a chance to live out his life.
Can I just simply say this? Jamaica, from the days of plantocracy, we have always gotten it wrong because the family is what is the strongest agent of socialization. And we have never placed focus on the family being the cornerstone. Because mother have to go overseas, father have to go overseas to make it. Auntie have to start take care of Pitney. Pitney get exposed to man in a community. Man in a community breed the Pitney. Pitney get turned mother at 15, 16, 17. By the time she's 30, she has 6 or 7 of them. She breed up, she not have no education. Because of the education now, the Pitney them come not have enough good father. And the cycle of poverty, it becomes cyclical and continues and it continues and it continues. Those parents now become pawns to the MPs. Because them say, Jane have 20 Pitney. Make sure say Jane get $150,000 and all of the 20 Pitney come vote for me election day. That family has no opportunities and no access to roads, jobs, lighting, housing, infrastructure, apart from the 50,000 that them get every 4 years. What that 50,000 does to that family? That family now has...
But Andre, tell me if you agree with me that it is we, the people.
Yeah, but again, Auntie Valerie, many of these people have not been liberated and have been educated like me and you. You're a well-learned woman.
That is why I'm urging you to form a movement to let them know, do not take money to vote. Your vote has a use. You can use it to improve your life and your community.
And I can say this, Auntie Valerie. If I have 1,400 people on my Facebook who none of them don't know me, 3/4 of these people don't know me, 1,400 people, the voice and the advocacy has started.
Yes. And I want it to continue.
And it will continue once I have life. Auntie Valerie, nothing draws people to you more than a human interest story, you know. So feeding the frontline workers and the homeless people will draw more people to me. Right now, Digicel give me notice to come out of the building. That's political victimization. But they don't know that when I come out of that building, a lot more people will want to find me to buy my lunch and my food. The Lord says, take the wealth from the wicked and restore to the righteous. That is what is my calling, and I will be doing it.
Let me say that. Let me ask this. While you opened that one, the Digicel one, what happened there? Did you owe them a lot of money?
Yeah, I have to owe them because in a COVID, no money now make. All Island Grill where they beside I make temporarily closing and Stafford. No money is being made in the building.
That is lease to seed. But if he got a lease and they guaranteed them, well, we're going to have 1,000 people passing through here, maybe say a week or so. And it has dwindled down to maybe 100. Isn't it something where the lease could be renegotiated? Because what he signed up for, what they told him that he would be getting, he's not getting it. And shouldn't that lease be renegotiated? Because
well, if that is so, but we need to look. I would need to look at it for myself and see.
Yes.
I will make sure so the bearer drop it to you tomorrow morning, Auntie Valerie.
Okay, Andrea, I will look at it.
But then here is the truth now.
Hold on. Disheartening to me is this. Here is a young man, clearly intelligent, above average, highly motivated, very talented, because he doesn't know that I know young men who he used to sew suits for, and they were very well done. Okay? And he is trying, he's not...
I know that person very well, Auntie Valerie, and I must tell you, see that person, tell him, say, me and him a friend for life. All when him begs with me and him a friend for life, for life, for life. Me love him like a cook food, and if he call me tomorrow morning and say, Dre, say, Dre, me go buy cloth. No, me have to clear it up, because the person close to Auntie Valerie, the person and I had a difference, Auntie Valerie. I love him dearly. Tell him say, Andre Stevens say, I am sorry. And the reason why me I talk out is because me feel, say, me and him have to. Auntie Valerie, when nobody not believing in me, him believing in me, you know? Him believing in me, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, he's not scamming, he's not using the gun, he's not robbing anybody, he's trying to make an honest living. He's planting, he's sowing, he's doing whatever he can to be a good citizen. And this is what has faced him. His dreams are being attacked and destroyed. It is a shame. That is how we treat our young Jamaicans, and we expect a better country. We have to do better than that. We have to give people a chance.
Yeah.
We have to give people a chance.
I think the solution they use is to push them into a corner, push the young people into a corner. They make a mistake and then they send 100 policemen with the most powerful guns to go kill them. And that is it. And I'm saying, you know, Andre, you mentioned something about this going overseas.
Uncle Stafford, as long as Valerie need a big Queen's Council in this country, where may I left go?
Yeah. But I want to make a point, my own little point here. The whole thing of the destruction of the black family started with slavery.
Yes.
When we were brought into and enslaved. Well, if your brother, your mother, your partner, your child, your children will be dragged away from you, and you were not looked at as human.
True.
And we ran away, and we have these communities, what we call these maroon communities. And they built up, they started rebuilding their lives. But guess what happened now? Europe went into a war, two world wars, and they destroyed themselves, especially Britain. When the war was over, Britain could hardly find anybody to sweep the streets, to clean the houses. So what they did, they came into the Caribbean and they told us in the Caribbean, oh, come, it's a much better life. Gold, the streets are paved with gold. This is what I used to hear as a child. The streets are paved with gold. You can just walk and pick up money off the streets and all that crazy kind of stuff. And it destroyed communities. If you go up into some of these rural areas, you can see traces of where communities, once thriving communities, existed. And because of this grand migration, which took place into Britain, into the United States, it started depleting the country. The brain drain started there. Oh, yeah. Then, coming into the 70s, when people became more affluent and they were not doing certain jobs anymore, they started giving these visas and bringing people out of the
Tell me something, stop.
They left them unprotected.
When last have you seen any statistics about our illiteracy rate?
I've been hearing. Yeah.
How last have you seen some statistics to show what period over the last 20 years is the greatest period for migration of qualified Jamaicans?
This must be.
We have no transparency. There is no accountability and no transparency from our politicians.
Yeah.
We just talk and talk and talk and talk. I went into politics, hoping I could make a difference. Sad to say, I couldn't make a difference. I mean, the 4,000 odd votes that I got, I didn't pay for any of them.
Some others have to pay for them.
The sad reality with Jamaica, I don't think...
No, and I'm going to say this, the power of the vote is very important. And a lot of people must know. You not give a vote unless you get your partner draw. You not give a vote unless you get your partner draw. Your partner draw don't have to...
Andre,
let them know what their partner draw is. Because I think the partner draw is money.
The partner draw is a figurative language. The partner draw speaks to better housing for solutions.
That's right.
Better road infrastructure. Better access to capital. Loans for small businesses. Better crime plan. Better farming structures for farmers. Insurance, access to capital for the farming enterprise and infrastructure. Better salaries for the teacher, the nurses, the doctor, the soldier, the police, them.
That's right.
Better family structures. Better infrastructure for education so people can have tablet in a school, internet at their yard. That is a better Jamaica, a new Jamaica. A new Jamaica. That is a partner draw where Jamaicans want, a new Jamaica. We don't think so. We don't want to come tell me say 10,000 argue. 10,000 can't do nothing to me or you, Auntie Valerie. $10,000 can't even buy my material to make my suit them. Auntie Valerie. Auntie Valerie, I want to ask your family member this. What mean so far? If me buying a rare clad put perfume, because me tell them it must have look like royalty. You understand? So we want Jamaicans to know say, when you don't want to get to the partner draw, it's not about physical monies. It's about opportunities and access.
And we need to start choosing our politicians carefully. You can't just get up and say you're going to run. What do you have to offer?
You can't be pedophile and a run pan party ticket. You can't be rapist and a run pan party ticket. You can't be scammer and a run pan party ticket. There must be some levels of integrity that we stand for as a nation.
Definitely. And we, the voters, must demand it. We must demand it.
Stafford, I can't see a general secretary for a party being alleged to be a pedophile. And the general secretary don't step aside until the investigation is completed. That is wrong.
standards that they have overseas, we don't seem to set any standards.
Auntie Valerie, I have enough evidences that a young girl, a lady, was raped at the Nigerian High Commission, and the Jamaican government don't do no investigation into it. And them something where we are talking about Stafford Henry and not Stafford Perkins, and there's been no media house that has investigated the matter. I asked some question one day here. Is there any truth to it that Cliff Hughes has not paid for his spectrum licenses, his authority? Broadband. How many years has he not paid? Is there any truth that he got a tax write-off? Them can't answer the questions. Is when last has Cliff Hughes paid his NHT and his GCT?
No transparency.
No transparency. None whatsoever, Stafford. And the Gleaner know about it. The Observer know about it. When I call the Observer editor, Julian.
When Stafford, the media generally, there are some exceptions, but the media generally has moved away from investigative journalism. What we are having is just reporting of matters, and most times it is one-sided.
I used to respect Deion Jackson Miller. These days, I cannot even know if Deion Jackson Miller is a journalist or a shit free.
Go ahead and make your point, Ms. Valerie.
No, I'm saying that the media has dropped the ball. I mean, I remember the days of Monty Perkins and Peter Abrams. I mean, investigative journalism, asking deep questions about issues that are going on in the country. These days, that's not happening. What has happened to our media? Our media is supposed to keep the politicians on their toes.
But Andre was making a very good point about a particular personality and media owner. He is part and parcel of the present administration. It has even been rumored that he sits in on when they are selecting new, members to the cabinet. He is, the first time I met this character, he was on the other side, and he used to be just as excited about his side. I had to call him as a youngster coming into the newsroom at RGR and kind of caution him to say, hey, this is a newsroom, this is not the cheerleader stand. And I see where he switched over from one to the other, and he's doing the same thing. So they're not going to report. How is he going to report, say that any misappropriation of funds are, he can't honestly...
Share this live.
He can't honestly report it. I remember when the Petrojam thing was coming down, one of the main players in that game was a former employee of his. So he couldn't, he was like shocked to say this person, but I'm saying, you have somebody working with you, you know the role they were playing.
And one of the important things
it was covered up, yeah.